From the very start, my family did not approve of my relationship with Thabo. They warned me, Amara, if you stay with that boy, your life will be full of suffering. My name is Amara. I met Thabo in my final year in the university. He was tall, handsome, intelligent, and most importantly, very kind-hearted. I fell for him. He felt the same way too. But our young love faced strong opposition. When my parents got to know about my relationship with him, they were strongly against it. Their words weighed on me constantly. Soon, I began arguing with Thabo unnecessarily at the slightest provocations. With my parents' constant criticism, my frustration grew, and he became my target for all my anger. Yet, he never yelled back. He just let me vent, quietly and patiently. Time passed. Thabo and I graduated from the university. He planned to further his studies overseas, while I got a job as a banking operation officer in a prestigious bank in South Africa. The evening before he left the country, we strolled down a beautiful park together during a warm sunset, and there he stood in front of me, holding my hands as he said, Amara, I'm not so good with words. I may not always say sweet words, but I want you to know this. I love you deeply. I believe my actions can prove this to you better and deeper than any sweet lines I may say. So, if you agree, I promise to take care of you for the rest of your life. I will even convince your parents to accept us. So please, will you marry me? He asked. That was the most beautiful day of my life. I was overwhelmed. I immediately said yes to the man of my dreams. Then we walked together to my parents' house. Thabo spoke with them. They asked him a whole lot of questions, even embarrassing ones. They saw how determined and genuine he was. Soon, they reluctantly accepted him. Thabo left for the UK the next day. I stayed behind, starting my first job. We maintained our love through letters and phone calls. The distance was hard, but neither of us gave up. We spoke and laughed till very late into the night. Our relationship waxed stronger. But the tragedy that befell next was something no one ever expected. My whole world turned blur right in front of my eyes. It all started one morning. As I prepared to go to the office, I drove my car while vibing happily to my favorite music. Then unexpectedly, a car lost control and hit mine. I tried to drift away, but it was too late. Darkness was all I remembered seeing next. I woke up and noticed I was in an unfamiliar room. Then I noticed it was a hospital ward. I saw my parents crying, their faces soaked with tears. I tried to comfort them, but no words came out. I tried to speak again, but no words came out. My voice was gone. I had been rendered mute by the accident. My brain injury had stolen my words forever. The doctor said nothing could be done about it. I wept so much and refused to be consoled. Days passed in silence. I resigned from my job because I couldn't keep a job with my condition. I couldn't call Thabo. I made sure no one told him of what had happened. I didn't want to be a burden. I stayed all day behind the door of my locked room, thinking of how unfair life had become to me. Thabo would call all day and night. I ignored his calls. I wrote him a letter, returning the engagement ring, telling him our relationship was over. Phone calls, letters, even desperate messages. I ignored them all. Tears were my only answer. I didn't take his calls and I felt too guilty to block his line, so I got a new registered number instead. This way, he couldn't reach me. My parents, out of concern for me, decided we moved to a new town for a fresh start. I convinced myself to forget Thabo. I began learning sign language so I could communicate with my hands. A year later, my best friend Lerato from uni visited me at home. Lerato came with a big news. She said, Amara, Thabo is back in country. What? I exclaimed. I begged her to keep my secret and never give him any info about me. Tell him to forget me, I told Lerato strongly. Months went by in silence until one day, Lerato handed me a beautiful luxury wedding invitation card. It was Thabo's wedding invitation. I froze. The man of my dreams was getting married? Hot tears flowed off my eyes. My heart sank, but my eyes froze on one detail in the card. My full name was boldly written on the invitation. Before I could ask or think about anything, Thabo appeared. He signed, clumsily at first. I spent over a year learning sign language, so I could tell you this. I have not forgotten our promise. Let me be your voice. I love you. Tears filled my eyes. I looked at the engagement ring I had returned, now held gently in his hand. Slowly, I smiled. I realized then not to run away from problems. Every problem has a solution. And I understood how sad it can be to break someone's heart, someone truly sincere and genuine. Finally, Thabo and I got married legally. We had a big wedding. Very important people from overseas flew into the country as guests just for our wedding. I feel blessed beyond measure. I blessed that sunny afternoon I met Thabo at the university gate. We got married and had the happiest family life. And when people ask Thabo why he still chose settling down with me, knowing fully well I'll never speak, he'll simply say, "Love doesn't need a voice to be heard. It only needs a heart that listens."